Title I. When you're school-wide. Targeted is what child is picked. But we're school-wide, so everyone in here is a Title I school. And they get a Title I budget for every child in this school. Okay, our Title I budget, what we get in funding is $800,543. That's the whole school-wide, what we get for the whole funding. Okay, 1% of that goes to the parents, where everyone see on this paper here that say $8,543. It goes to the parents to help parents move children forward. So the reason we're having this meeting, so we can make sure that everybody understand what is Title I, and do everybody agree with this budget that we plan for children and for the parents for the school year. So if you look at it, at the beginning it says $1,000 for workshops, literacy, computer, professional development. Okay, I know someone in here is like, what do we mean by workshop? For instance, we have the new Common Core standard, and it deals with your children taking the ELA, the math, and the science test, state test. So what we will be doing at 43 school, we will be having ELA and math workshops for parents. So they will be able to understand what their children are testing on the New York State test. So that's one thing that you use with Title I money, because if you understand what your child's doing, then you will be able to help move your child forward, so he or she can pass. Another thing, when we say literacy and computer, some people in here do not even know the basics of the computer. So what we can do here, we can have computer classes like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, or Access. But we have to have an input from parents stating what do they need and what do they want. So we have to have all parents' input to say what do they want in the school and what do they want for parents to move the children forward. Okay, like right here I put $1,000 for refreshments. Anyone that's in a Title I school and we have meetings from 6 to 8 or after hours, we have to feed parents. That's the law. So that's why, like tonight, you see we have food for you all tonight. So that's why we put in the budget $1,000 for refreshments. So to make sure we feed you all when you come to meetings, workshop, or anything dealing with Title I. Okay, reimbursement. When we say reimbursement, we mean, like, for instance, if you're doing something for Title I and you spend your money for it instead of it coming out the budget, and you have the receipt showing that you did something for a meeting, or you, like tonight, if anybody caught the bus here or anything like that, we are able to do travel. That's why this year we're going to look into Metro cards to try to get Metro cards for parents to make meetings. So some parents are like, oh, I can't get here and anything like that. Title I pays for that, to make sure that you come out and you get what you need for your children. So that's another thing why we have for reimbursement and child care. Now I'm going to explain something to you about the child care. Now, so a lot of people, for instance, we're having a workshop. We have to have a parent that we know that are able to sit with the children and be able to watch them at that meeting. And they're only able to be reimbursed for $50 for watching the kids, only. So if you bring the children to the meeting and we take them to the side and we have a parent that we know is able to watch those children, they're able to get paid $50 only for watching that child, those children. They're not at a meeting. Okay, now you see we have the $6,000 for printing, parent agendas, and supplies. Okay, we need paper. You know, things like that for when we have in our meeting, we send in our notices out. We have to buy paper for you all. You know, we have pre-K through 8th grade, so that's a lot of paper. Okay? Parent agendas. That's like the agendas that you all had sent out at the beginning of the year. That's the communication that makes parent involvement, because we're communicating with the parents saying this is the homework, this is what's going on. So that's why we invest in that, because that's parent involvement as well. You're looking to see your child have this homework, that homework. homework, and then on there you can write and ask the teachers questions. So that's being, even if you don't come to meetings or not come, that's parent involvement as well. Because we know we have working parents. So if you're doing your agenda, going back and forth with your parents, that is showing parent involvement. The printing, that's just like I was saying, like if we have something, we can do like t-shirts, different things like that. So that's why we put the $6,000 in that area right there. Because that's a lot. We have a large school, and it's going to take a lot for us to make sure that we communicate with the parents. So we want to make sure we have that communication. Because I know some parents have said, oh, I didn't get that notice, I didn't understand this and that. So it will be in the agenda, or it will be sent out in the notice like you all got tonight. Okay, so the $43 miscellaneous, we can throw that for like books, or one thing I like to order every year is the parent testing tips. We're able to send out and show you how to prepare your child for the New York City State test, where you can show them what time to send them to bed, what to have them, make sure they have the pencil. We have that information for you as well. So I'm going to ask you now if anybody has any questions about this proposed budget.
I do.
Okay.
What was the expenditures last year?
What was the what?
What were the expenditures last year?
Last year it was $1,000 less. We had like $7,000 last year.
So we need $6,000 for printing, paper, and stuff. $40 a book. Out of that $6,000, we're going to
Yeah, after $6,000.
$6,000. Are we going to be using that like we did before to get the kids the booklet?
Yes. But now this year we're not doing the test booklets like we did. This year the title I invested into the agenda. That's why I put that there so you can see that it's agenda. The 2 years before we invested in the test booklets, but this year we invested in the agenda. So do everybody understand that?
The agendas that the kids bring home.
The agenda.
Yeah.
Right.
So you already paid for those?
Right. Okay. So is everybody in agreement with this budget? Everybody in agreement?
Yes.
Okay, so all I need is someone to just make a motion to say they accept this proposed budget.
Well, what?
Okay, what's your name? Barbara what? Barbara Perez? She made the motion
without it being itemized, without us seeing specifically what it's going for, I'm not going to say I agree. I mean, we don't know what it's really being used for.
And then the agenda books, they didn't have it every year. So how
Why is that going? Why is it
Okay, all in favor? All right. Okay, so now this is 43 times what proposed budget for this year. Okay?
This is a joke.
All right.
This is not making any
The
sense.
next thing we have is
You're not
the common
itemizing
core standard.
specifically every item.
If you
Not being
read,
mentioned.
this is online. I just wanted everybody to get the information. I just wanted everybody to get the information
It
about
doesn't
the
make
common core
sense.
standard.
You know, the woman
Because
made the
this is
copy.
one reason why the New York State test moved up, because they're trying to make your children college ready. A lot of kids now in New York State, when they go to college, they're taking remedial courses. They're trying to stop them, because that's a waste of financial aid and parents' money. When you take remedial courses, you do not get credit for college. You do not get credit for college credit. So that's why now they have the Common Core standard in place to have your children college ready. That's why now you see this homework and stuff going on. You don't understand because they're preparing your child, and it's the Common Core standard initiative. I gave you a little information on it in the packet. If anyone didn't get it, it's online. You just put in Common Core standard. And another thing I want to give you information about the Common Core standard. The Common Core standard is what a lot of states are adopting. So for instance, if someone comes from Texas or someone comes from Georgia, everybody will be still on the same page. So that's another reason why the Common Core standard was put in place across the state. So that'd be better for, like, if somebody come here, they already be on the same level.